Hi, I'm Courtney, and welcome to the Pet Digest, where we discuss all things dog gut health and longevity through diet. Today, I'm continuing my series about arthritis in dogs, and we're going to talk about foods that you want to avoid feeding your dog if they have arthritis. I do have a video about what you should feed them, so this is what you should not feed them. Little background about me, really, really quickly, in case this is your first time here. If it's not, thank you for coming back. This is my dog Chi Chi. He is my muse, the reason why I started this blog. He had pancreatitis, and so I just created a blog about all things pet dog gut health. So, arthritis is basically inflammation of the joints. So, the goal with feeding a dog is to fill their diet, at least in my opinion, to fill their diet with plenty of anti-inflammatory foods that are really like high in nutrients, very nutritious, while avoiding any foods that may be inflammatory. So, if your dog has arthritis, it's really critical to feed them foods that will not make their condition worse, obviously, right? So, let's talk about a couple of these foods. So, the first thing we'll talk about is refined grains. And just a little background about grains. I don't know how much you guys want to know about this, but we're just going to delve a little bit into it. But whole grains are made of three parts. You have the bran, the germ, and the endosperm. And refined grains do not have the bran or the germ. So you're not getting a complete grain. So this makes them really, really highly processed and really limited in nutrition in most cases. They are quickly broken down into sugar. And this is, well, most people know that sugar is really related to inflammation in the body. So this not only means that these type of grains could worsen your dog's arthritis, but it could also cause other issues for them in their body, like diabetes and heart disease, which are related to inflammatory events in the body. So some examples of refined grains include white rice and white bread. However, I always tell people there are many times that you may have to feed your dog a bland diet if they have a stomach upset, which usually includes white rice. But this is going to be for a really short, limited amount of time. It's not going to be forever that you're going to have them on this. So it's fine in that short amount of time. So my question as a dog owner would be, so what about whole grains? Should I feed my dog whole grains? And I will say there needs to be a lot more research about this. I always try to make all of my articles, my videos very heavily research based. So there needs to be a lot more research around it. So the jury's still out on that. But most vets and most scientists say that it's fine to feed them foods that include whole grains like brown rice and oats because they really are beneficial, at least for humans. And they have a lot of good vitamins in them. So if as the research comes out, I'll definitely keep you guys updated. Make sure you join the email list because that's where I send out my weekly email list with any like new research that comes out about dogs' gut health. The second thing, of course, is sugar. Sugar is not only horrible for your dog's midsection, it's also highly inflammatory and it will cause issues with their joints if they have arthritis. It will probably worsen them. Another thing is salt. I'll kind of put salt and sugar together. But you should definitely limit both sugar and salt when possible because they can both lead to inflammation. So naturally occurring sugars and salts from like fruits and vegetables, those are fine. But if the diet you've chosen for your dog has a lot of added sugars or salts, I would kind of steer clear of that. So make sure you read the packaging, your dog's ingredients. Make sure you're reading those to make sure that it doesn't have a lot of added sugar, added salt, and it's usually going to be one of the first five ingredients. Um, if it's there or in excess, basically. So another thing would be processed human foods, of course. I have a lot of owners that come in and after their dog gets their vaccines, they're going to get a hot dog, they're going to get a hamburger. And I'm like, don't tell me this. Don't tell me this is happening. Just don't tell me. So if you're feeding your dog a homemade diet or if you use any human food, make sure you refrain from feeding them any processed foods like meats like lunch meats, bologna, hot dogs, bacon, those type of things. Bacon especially has a lot of salt and a lot of fat, which although there's a lot more research that needs to be done around pancreatitis, in the past, it's been said that fat is what causes the pancreatitis in dogs. So while your dog may be sad that they can't eat some of their favorite things, it's better for them in the long run and better for their joints and probably better for your pocketbook in the long run too. Um, the last thing I'll talk about is high fat and fatty protein based diets. So while fat and protein are both good, your dog needs them. They're extremely beneficial, they're necessary, but only in moderation. And the source of the fat and the protein is really key. You want to make sure that when you're feeding them, you keep the fat to a minimum. And when you're choosing a diet, make sure that the protein that you choose is a lean protein. So, preferably something like chicken breast or wild caught fish. You just don't want to feed them too much fat, basically. So, like I said, I try to keep these videos really, really short. If you want more information, check out my blog. Please, if you can, like and subscribe. This I have a couple more videos coming out about arthritis in dogs. So if you're interested in that, make sure you turn on the notification so you'll see when it comes out. And I hope to talk to you next week. Bye.